indeed. Hello, I'm Alexander Armstrong, and welcome to Pointless, the quiz show where the lowest scorers are the biggest winners. Let's meet today's players. We welcome back John and Kathy as our first pair on the show today. You were on the show last time. Everyone gets two chances, you see, to reach the Pointless final, and this is their last chance. Remind us what happened.
Well, we're products of the Welsh comprehensive system, and we got a question about the English public school system.
It was a disgrace. I have already written to my MP. You didn't do badly, though.
Got to the head-to-head.
You didn't do. You did incredibly well in the head-to-head. First time round the track. So have you read any more novels since we last met?
I haven't read any since we've last met, but I've read all the posters I've seen and the underneath of people's shoes and just the usual sort of stuff.
Oh, I see. So this is sort of verging on obsessive.
Yes, it is.
I see.
But Kathy, you should be heavily tattooed. That would be my advice.
How do you know I'm not?
That's a very good question.
That's a very deft reply. Look at that.
Yeah, that's like you've been asked that before. But you could tattoo all sorts of things, and then you'd always have something to read.
John, what would you like to see come up this afternoon?
Oh, Peter Gabriel songs.
You kept that very quiet last time round.
Well...
Peter Gabriel songs.
Yeah.
He doesn't do that many, though, does he?
Well, that's why I wanted to come up, yeah.
Welcome back. Great to have you back on the show. Next, we welcome Roger and Christine. Now, how do you two know each other?
Well, we're married. We've been married for almost 30 years.
Many, many congratulations. And Christine, what do you do?
I'm a legal secretary.
And Roger, how about you?
I'm retired recently.
Have you taken up anything since retiring?
No, I haven't had time yet. I'm still doing all the jobs that I've been putting off for the last 30 years.
Yes. Were there any things that you thought you might take up?
Yeah, I used to fish when I was a boy. And I thought I might take that up again.
Well, I think should you win the jackpot today, maybe your first stop should be at a fishing shop. Maybe.
That's a pretty decent idea.
I think they're very good.
Thank you.
I'm a great believer in buying all the kit, all the kit, long before you ever start doing anything. Even if you then never, ever actually take that particular thing up. And what would you like to see come up this afternoon, Roger? What would be a great category for you?
Pop music, as long as it's not anything in the last 25, 30 years.
Christine, anything you particularly love to see?
Yeah, I like history. I read a lot of historical novels, so, things like that.
Well, we will see. Good luck. Let's hope some of these things come up for you. But great to have you on the show. Welcome.
Thank you.
Next, we welcome Leanne and Vicky. Now, how do you two know each other?
We're cousins. We're from Birmingham. Our mums are sisters, so we've been brought up really close together, and we're like sisters ourselves.
Very good indeed. What do you do, Leanne?
I'm a secretary for a estate agency that sells licensed premises.
So, a lot of pub visits.
Sadly, not for me, no. The agent,
really?
so I'm just a secretary.
Yeah. Vicky, how about you?
I work for a recruitment company. I'm a team leader, so very busy.
OK. What would you like to see come up this afternoon?
TV, films, anything sort of reality TV, celebrities, that would be great. OK. Leanne?
Cheesy 80s music, I think.
Cheesy
would be,
80s
yeah.
music. Anything you'd hate to see come up, Vicky?
Politics, sport, anything like that.
OK.
That's going to be awkward.
OK, well, very, very best of luck to you. It's great to have you here. And finally, we welcome back Dean and Michelle. You were also on the last show. This is your second chance to reach the final. Remind us how you did.
Well, we went out in the second round on a music question.
Yes.
We didn't do that bad. The contestants were just a little bit better.
Oh, dear. So what are you hoping this time round is going to come up?
Reality TV or celebrities or films.
OK, everybody wants television and films. Dean, what are your hobbies?
I like going to the movies, playing badminton. I used to play for a pro paintball team when I was a bit younger and fitter.
A pro paintball team?
Yes.
What, you get paid to play paintball?
In paint.
And in return, you were sort of televised? Or...
Sometimes. We once won the World Five-Man Championship as well.
There's only one person left for me to introduce. He's a card-carrying member of the NUPF, the National Union of Pointless Friends. He's my pointless friend. He's Richard.
Oh, yeah.
well now, Richard. How are you?
I'm very, very well. How are you?
I'm extremely well, thank you.
Good. We've got 2 returning pairs today. John and Kathy did very well last time, but Dean and Michelle also did very well last time. So I think we've got 2 very strong returning pairs. It's going to be tough, I think, for our 2 new pairs, although there is a little bit of history in there, and everyone will be happy. There's a sort of a TV film crossover in round 1.
Now, we put all our questions to 100 people before the show, but this is pointless, so we are after the obscure answers they didn't get. To stay in the game with a chance to win our jackpot, all our players need to do is score as few points as they possibly can. Now, what everyone's trying to do, of course, is find a pointless answer. That's an answer that none of our 100 people gave, and each time that happens, we will add £250 to the jackpot. Nobody won the jackpot last time, so we add another £1,000 to that, so today's jackpot starts off at £2,000. Right, let's play Pointless. Now, in the first round, each of you must give me one answer, and you cannot confer with your partner. Whichever team has the highest score at the end of the round will be eliminated. OK, our first category this afternoon is animation. Animation. Can you decide in your pairs who's going to go first, who's going to go second? And whoever's going first, please step up to the podium. OK, let's find out what the question is. We gave 100 people 100 seconds to name as many cartoon cats and dogs as they could. Cartoon cats and dogs. Richard?
Yeah, the correct answers in this round will all be cats and dogs from animated films or TV series.
OK, thanks very much. Now then, John and Kathy all drew lots before the show, and this afternoon you get to go first. Now, in this round, we are going to give you a choice of 7 possible answers on the board in each pass. Our first set of 7 answers reads like this. We have got Top Cat, Lacombe, Snagglepuss, Chandy, Heathcliff, Muttley and Bonkers. I'll read those one more time. Top Cat, Lacombe, Snagglepuss, Chandy, Heathcliff, Muttley and Bonkers. Now, I can tell you that at least one of those answers is pointless, and at least one of those answers is incorrect. Pick an incorrect one, and you will, of course, score the maximum of 100 points. So, John, cartoon cats and dogs. What do you think about this as a category?
I know 3 of them, but not sure about the others, so I think I'm going to have to play it safe and go for Muttley.
OK, you're going to go for Muttley, a safe option, you say. Let's hope that's right, and if it is, let's see how many people said Muttley. Is right. Very well done, 13. That's a great score for Muttley. Richard?
Yeah, well played, John. Muttley was Dick Dastardly's sidekick, first appeared in Wacky Races, voiced by Don Messick, who also voiced Scooby-Doo. Do that Scooby-Doo impression you always do for us. Oh, it's hilarious. You're gonna like this.
Oh, dear, oh, dear.
Come on.
No, I've never done one before. I'm not going to start now. OK, we are looking for cartoon cats and dogs. Roger, what do you think about that list there?
There are a lot of rather unfamiliar names there,
Right.
I'm afraid.
Any familiar ones?
Yes, a couple, fortunately. I'm going to go for Snagglepuss.
Snagglepuss. OK, there we are. 3 down, Snagglepuss, says Roger. Let's see if it's right, and if it is, let's see how many people said Snagglepuss. Roger, very well done. That's a pointless answer. It adds £250 to today's jackpot, takes the total up to £2,250. Most importantly, it scores you nothing. Very well done. Richard, Snagglepuss, there's a clue in the name. I can't believe it. No person said Snagglepuss.
No person said Snagglepuss at all. No, created in 1959. It's a pink mountain lion, Snagglepuss, created by Hanna-Barbera.
Very well done, Roger. We now come to you, Vicky. Now remember, we are looking for cartoon cats and dogs.
Okay.
One pointless answer has gone, but there is nothing to suggest that there mightn't be another pointless answer lurking there.
Okay, there's one obvious one, and I'm not sure whether to go for it or take a bit of a risk. I'm going to try Heathcliff. I'm not sure.
You're going to try Heathcliff. Does it ring a bell at all?
Yeah, it rings a bell.
What do you think, Leanne?
I think that's okay.
OK, you have your cousin's blessing.
Thank you.
Heathcliff, you say. Let's see if it's right, and if it is, let's see how many people said Heathcliff. Good luck. Yes! Very well done, Vicky. Oh, very well done. 5 points for Heathcliff. That's a great answer. Richard.
Yeah, well done, Vicky. Heathcliff from the Heathcliff and Dingbat show. He's voiced by Mel Blanc, who did Bugs Bunny and Daffy Duck.
Very good, thank you. Michelle, you're the last person to have this list of cartoon cats and dogs. What are you thinking?
Well, I'm thinking that because Top Cat has the word cat in it, that it'll probably be quite high. So, even though I don't know any of the other ones, I think I'm just going to take a punt. So, I'll go for Lacombe.
Lacombe.
Fingers crossed, yeah.
OK, Lacombe. That's what Michelle has gone for. Let's see if it's right, and if it is, let's see how many people said Lacombe. Very best of luck, Michelle. Oh, no! Unfortunately, Lacombe is an incorrect answer, which means you score the maximum of 100 points. I'm sorry. Richard?
Yeah, sorry, Michelle. Ray Lacombe was a Welsh electrician nicknamed the Cat by the media when he reportedly died and came back to life 9 times.
OK.
Yeah. Let's take a look through the rest of the board and see what you should have said. Yeah, I mean, Top Cat, absolutely, it's the right answer. It was a fairly hefty score, though, with 56. You should have said Bonkers. Bonkers is a pointless answer. Bonkers D. Bobcat of the Toon Division of the Hollywood Police Force. And Chandy is, do you think that's incorrect or a pointless answer?
I'm going to say incorrect.
You are right. Chandy was there. So the dancing dog from the 2010 Britain's Got Talent finals. Tina and Chandy. So it's a real dog.
OK, well, let's take a look at the scores. We're halfway through the round. What a spread we have. Everything from Roger and Christine on nothing, right the way up via Vicky and Leanne on 5, John and Kathy on 13, to Michelle and Dean on 100. It's a wide field. OK, we're going to come back down the line. Can the second players please take their places at the podium? OK, we're going to put 7 more answers on the board. We are looking for cartoon cats and dogs, and here we have got Custard, Pilchard, Garfield, Droopy, Tom, Misty Malarkey, Santa's Little Helper. I'll read them one more time. Custard, Pilchard, Garfield, Droopy, Tom, Misty Malarkey, and Santa's Little Helper. And again, I can tell you that at least one of those answers is pointless, and at least one of those answers is incorrect. Pick an incorrect one and you'll score 100 points. So, Dean, you're the high scorers on 100 by a long way. Your nearest rivals are Kathy and John on 13. Now, remember, we are looking for cartoon cats and dogs.
OK, I'm going to have to take a wild stab. I know a few of them, but I think they're going to be quite high. I'm going to go for Misty Malarkey.
Michelle likes that.
It's a wild guess.
Misty Malarkey's a wild guess. Let's hope it's correct. And if it is correct, let's see how many people said it. Misty Malarkey, no red line for you, obviously. You are the high scorers.
Oh, dear.
Oh, bad luck. Bad luck, bad luck. Unfortunately, that is an incorrect answer, which means you score the maximum of 100 points, taking your total up to an unbeatable, but rather impressive 200. Richard.
Yeah, sorry, Dean. Misty Malarkey Yin Yang is the name of a cat who used to live in the White House, Jimmy Carter's daughter. Just the longest named pet ever to live in the White House.
Misty Malarkey
In case you were wondering about the answer to that question. She's sitting at home thinking, I wonder what the longest named pet who ever lived in the White House was. It was Misty Malarkey Yin Yang. OK, Leanne, the great news is Dean and Michelle, I'm afraid, are such high scorers that nobody else will overtake their high score, so they will be leaving us at the end of this round, which means everybody else has free swim. Now remember, we are looking for cartoon cats and dogs. Let's see if we can't truffle out those pointless answers and add some more money to the jackpot.
I am thinking that hopefully not many adults will watch The Simpsons, so I'm going to say Santa's Little Helper.
Santa's Little Helper, you are saying? The dog from The Simpsons. OK. Santa's Little Helper. Let's see if that's right. And if it is, let's see how many people said it. Santa's Little Helper. It's right. $17. 17, that scored you, taking your total up to 22. Richard.
Yeah, good answer, Leanne. Santa's Little Helper is a greyhound who's adopted by Bart Simpson.
There we are. Now, Christine, you are on nothing, thanks to Roger's brilliant snagglepuss answer in the first pass. Now, as I said to Leanne, doesn't matter what you score.
Right, well, I'm not 100% sure, but I think I'm going to go for Custard.
OK, you're saying Custard. Let's see if that's right. And if it is, let's see how many people said Custard. Three for Custard. Very well done. That takes your total up to 3.
Yeah, well played, Christine. Custard is the sneaky, slothful cat from Rhubarb and Custard. Narrated by Richard Bryars, of course.
Indeed. Now then, Kathy, you're the last person to have this board, so you can fill in the gaps for us.
OK, Tom and Jerry. Tom's a cat. Droopy the dog. He's a droopy dog. Garfield's a cat. So Pilchard. I'm going to say Pilchard. It's a brilliant name.
Let's see if it's correct, and if it is, let's see how many people said Pilchard. It's right. Very well done, Kathy. I think you might have found the one we were looking for. Yes, you have! Very well done indeed. That's a pointless answer. It adds another £250 to today's jackpot, and it takes the total up to £2,500. It scores you nothing, and it leaves your score at 13. Very, very well done indeed. Richard.
Yeah, well played, Kathy. Great way to finish the round. It is a cat. It lives in a construction office in Bob the Builder. Let's take a look at the rest of the answers you went through, and you're exactly right on all of them. Tom is obviously from Tom and Jerry. A cat would have scored you 69 points. Garfield, also a cat, would have scored you 48 points. And Droopy the dog would have scored you 4. So Pilchard, very much the best answer on that board. Well done if you got that at home.
OK, thanks very much, Richard. So at the end of round 1, the losing pair with the highest score, I'm afraid it's Dean and Michelle. You are joining our august 200 club.
Well, it's worth doing. It's worth doing.
It really is worth doing.
Yeah.
We treasure our 200 clubbers. It's been fabulous having you back on the show. I can't believe we have to say goodbye to you at the end of this first round. This seems unjust. But if you're going to give answers like Misty Malarkey and Lacomba...
What do you expect?
What can we expect? Yeah. Dear, oh dear. But you have been brilliant contestants. So thank you so much for playing, Dean and Michelle. Fantastic. But for the remaining 3 pairs, it's now time for round 2. Now, there's only going to be room for 2 pairs on the head-to-head, so one team is going to be leaving us at the end of this round. Our category for round 2 this afternoon is British history. British history. Can you all decide in your pairs who's going to go first, who's going to go second?
You guys go first.
And whoever's going first, please step up to the podium. OK, our round 2 question concerns historical events and their prime ministers. Historical events and their prime ministers. Richard.
Yeah, a pretty tough round, but I know some people at home will absolutely ace this. We're going to show you 6 historical events on each pass. We asked 100 people who was British Prime Minister when these events occurred. If you give us an obscure answer, you're going to score fewer points. If you give us a wrong answer, though, it'll be 100 points. So 12 events in all, 12 Prime Ministers to guess. Very best of luck, everybody.
OK, so we are looking for the British Prime Ministers at the time of these events, and we have got Mandela elected President of South Africa, Barack Obama sworn in as US President, introduction of the state pension, Edward VIII abdication crisis, Suez crisis, Britain declares war on Nazi Germany. I'll read those historical events out one more time. Mandela elected President of South Africa, Barack Obama sworn in as US President, introduction of the state pension, Edward VIII abdication crisis, Suez crisis, Britain declares war on Nazi Germany. There we are. There are our historical events. We just need you, John, to start off by supplying the most obscure Prime Minister you can find from one of those events.
There's a few I'm not sure on. And I'm not 100% sure on the answer I'm going to give, but I'm going to go for Mandela, elected President of South Africa, and I'm going to say John Major.
John Major, you are saying for Mandela's election as the South African president. Let's see if that's right, and if it is, let's see how many people knew that answer. Mandela, John Major. It's right. Very well done. Down to 15, that goes. Looks like a pretty decent score to me. Richard?
Yeah, very well played, John. Very good start to the round. Exactly right.
Christine?
There's a couple. I'm going to go a little bit further back, I think, and I'm going for the Suez Crisis, and I think it was Anthony Eden.
Anthony Eden, you are saying for the Suez Crisis. Let's see if that's right, and if it is, let's see how many people knew that answer. Anthony Eden, Suez. It's right. $17. Another pretty decent score. Richard?
Yeah, well played, Christine. From 1956, ended up having to resign.
OK. Now then, Vicky. You are the last person to have this board, so if you like, you can talk us through it and fill in the missing prime ministers.
I wish I could talk through it. There's only one on there that I know, and that's Britain declares war on Nazi Germany, and that's Winston Churchill.
OK, you're saying Winston Churchill for Britain declares war on Nazi Germany. Let's see if that's right, and if it is, let's see how many people knew that answer. Good luck, Vicky. Oh, bad luck. I'm afraid Winston Churchill is an incorrect answer for that, which I'm afraid means you score the maximum of 100 points. I'm sorry, Richard.
Yeah, sorry, Vicky. Let's fill in the rest of the board. We'll start off with that one if you want. Britain declares war on Nazi Germany was Neville Chamberlain. Would have scored you 16 points. Barack Obama sworn in as US President, Gordon Brown, of course. That would have scored 42 points. Edward VIII abdication crisis was Stanley Baldwin. Would have scored you 1, which is a good answer. And introduction to the state pension is a pointless answer. Very well done at home if you said Herbert Asquith. 1908, that was. So that's the best answer on the board, and very well done if you got all 6 of them.
Thank you very much, Richard. OK, let's take a look at the scores at this early stage. John and Kathy, you're on 15, as it turns out, the best score of the past. Then up to 17 for Christine and Roger. And then way, way up to 100, I'm afraid, for Vicky and Leanne. So yes, Leanne, we need some great historical pointless knowledge from you in the next pass to save your bacon for the next round. OK, we're going to come back down the line. Can the second players please take their places at the podium? OK, we're going to put 6 more events on the board, and here they are. We have got Falklands War, World War I armistice signed, Profumo scandal, VE Day, repeal of the Corn Laws, Elizabeth II's Golden Jubilee. I'll read those all one more time. Falklands War, World War I armistice signed, Profumo scandal, VE Day, repeal of the Corn Laws, Elizabeth II's Golden Jubilee. Now remember, we are looking for the prime ministers who were around at the time of these events. And you're trying to find the most obscure one, the one that the fewest of our 100 people knew. Now, Leanne, what's that board look like to you?
Pretty bad. My history's not very good. I'm struggling a bit, but I'm gonna take a guess and say the Falklands War and Margaret Thatcher.
Falklands War, Margaret Thatcher, you're saying? Let's see if that's right, and if it is, let's see how many people said it. You are the high scorers on 100, so there's no red line for you, I'm afraid. You just have to hope you're going to score as few points as possible. Falklands War, Margaret Thatcher. Is it right? How many people said it? Yes, it's right. 66. I'm afraid that is... that's a very high score, and it takes your total up to 166, which I'm afraid to say is an unbeatable high score. Richard?
Yeah, a high score. Correct answer, though. From 1982, the Falklands conflict started. Well done.
Thanks very much, Richard. Now then, Roger. Remember, we are looking for the British Prime Ministers at the time of these events. What are you thinking? The high scorers, Leanne and Vicky, on 166. You're through to the head-to-head, whatever happens.
I'm thinking that's very fortunate.
OK.
Yeah, I don't know any of those, to be honest. But I know about when the Profumo scandal was, and that might have been Alec Douglas-Hume.
Alec Douglas-Hume, you are saying. No red line for you. You're through already to the next round. Alec Douglas-Hume, is that right for the Profumo scandal? And if it is, let's see how many people said it. Oh! I thought that was right. Unfortunately, as it turns out, it's wrong, which means I'm afraid you scored the maximum of 100 points, but it doesn't matter. You're through anyway. 117 is your total. Richard?
Yeah, sorry, Roger. I won't give you the answer now, just in case Kathy wants to go at the same one.
Kathy? Remember, we are looking for the British Prime Ministers at the time of these events. Again, high scorers, 166, Leanne and Vicky. You're through, whatever happens.
I'm going to try the Profumo scandal because it stood out in my mind, and I think it was Harold Wilson.
Harold Wilson, you are saying Profumo scandal. Let's see if that's right, and if it is, let's see how many people knew that answer.
Yikes.
Unfortunately, that's an incorrect answer. Scores you the maximum of 100 points, takes your total to 115. Richard.
Yeah, the good news for John Profumo is his scandal appears to have been forgotten. So that's good. It was actually the predecessor of those two, as Wilson, before that Douglas Hume, and before that it was Harold Macmillan. Would have scored you 12 points. VE Day, that's of course Winston Churchill, would have scored you 31. Elizabeth II's Golden Jubilee, that's Tony Blair, would have scored you 19. World War I armistice signed was Lloyd George, that would have scored you 9. And the repeal of the Corn Laws is a pointless answer. That's Robert Peel. Well done if you got that at home. And well done to anyone who got all 12. I suspect there are people out there who did.
OK, thank you very much, Richard. So at the end of round 2, the losing pair with the highest score is Leanne and Vicky. Bad luck. That was a very tough round, that one, if you didn't happen to know those events. History. Was that one of the subjects you were hoping wasn't going to come up?
Yeah, definitely.
Dear, oh dear, oh dear. Well, such a shame we have to say goodbye to you so soon. But we will see you again next time, when I'm sure we will see much more of you. Thanks very much for playing meanwhile, Leanne and Vicky. Great. But for the remaining 2 pairs, things are about to get even more exciting now as we enter the head-to-head. Very, very well done. Roger and Christine, John and Kathy, you've made it through to the head-to-head round. Now, obviously, only one pair can make it through to today's final and play for the jackpot, which currently stands at £2,500. Now, for each question, each pair needs to give me just one answer, but you are now allowed to confer. All you have to do is come up with an answer that scores less than the other pair, and you will win that question. The first pair to win 2 questions will be playing for today's jackpot. Let's play Pointless. OK, here is your first question. We gave 100 people 100 seconds to name as many Pink Floyd albums as they could. Pink Floyd albums. Richard?
Yeah, we're looking for any studio album, including soundtracks, that has reached the UK top 40 for Pink Floyd before April 2011. We're not accepting compilation albums, greatest hits or wholly live albums, but any Pink Floyd album that's reached the UK top 40, please.
OK, now Roger and Christine, you've played best throughout the show so far, so you get to go first. We are looking for Pink Floyd albums.
I think there's one called Over the Moon, but I'm not sure about that.
I've nothing. Whatever you said first, I've never heard of that.
Roger and Christine.
Because we only know one.
OK.
So our answer is Another Brick in the Wall.
Another brick in the wall, you are saying. OK, John and Kathy, do we have an answer?
The Division Bell?
The Division Bell. Good answer. We have Another Brick in the Wall and The Division Bell. Roger and Christine went first. Another Brick in the Wall, is that right? If it is, how many people said it? Bad luck, Roger and Christine. I'm afraid that's an incorrect answer. Which means, John and Kathy, you merely have to be correct with this. The Division Bell, is it right? Yep, well done. You've won the point. So nice low score. Look at that, 8. That was a great answer. Great answer. So after the first question, John and Kathy are up 1-0. Richard?
Yeah, well played, John. Good answer. From 1994, it's their last studio albums. #1 in the UK and the US, like lots of their things. Another Brick in the Wall was the single from the album, which is The Wall. Just The Wall, I'm afraid. Let's take a look at all the answers. More and A Momentary Lapse of Reason both have scored you 1. Very well done if you got either of those 2 at home. The Final Cut 2, The Piper at the Gates of Dawn and Obscured by Clouds 3. Saucer Full of Secrets 6, Gumma 7. There's The Division Bell with 8, alongside Medal and Atom Heart Mother. Animals 11, Wish You Were Here 12, and the 2 biggies at the top, The Wall with 43, and The Dark Side of the Moon 47. Between 1973 and 2009, that spent 374 weeks in the charts, Dark Side of the Moon. Never got to #1. Peaked at #2, #1 in the States.
Wow. OK, here is your second question. Roger and Christine, you have to win this question to stay in the game. Here it comes. We gave 100 people 100 seconds to name as many River Nile countries as they could. River Nile countries. OK, Richard.
Yeah, we're looking for any country that contains any part of the Nile, that's the river basin or any of its main tributaries, please.
OK, now, John and Kathy, you get to answer first this time.
Yeah, that's about all I know for definite.
OK, John and Kathy, do we have an answer?
We're going to try Somalia.
Somalia. OK, Somalia, you are saying? Roger and Christine.
Don't know.
We'll try Kenya.
Kenya. OK, so we have Somalia and we have Kenya. John and Kathy have gone for Somalia. Let's see if that's right. And if it is, let's see how many people said Somalia. Oh! Somalia, an incorrect answer, which means, Roger and Christine, you only have to be right to win this question. You've said Kenya. Let's see if that's right. And if it is, let's see how many people said Kenya. It's right. That's all it had to be. Wow, lovely low score. 7 for Kenya. But it only had to be right. And it was, which means after 2 questions, you are 1-1. Richard.
Yeah, it's 4,000 miles long, the Nile, from its remotest headstream, which flows into Lake Victoria, all the way up to the Mediterranean. Flows through 9 countries on the way. Let's take a look at all of them. There's a couple of pointless answers here. Democratic Republic of Congo and Burundi, both of those pointless. Very well done if you said those. Rwanda, 5. Tanzania, 6. Kenya, 7. That won the points. Uganda, 13. Ethiopia, 26. Sudan on 42. That's obviously still a country as of April 2011. And Egypt right at the top, huge score, 93 points. Very well done if you got any of those low-scoring ones at home.
OK, here comes your third question. Whoever wins this question goes through to the final. Here it comes. We gave 100 people 100 seconds to name as many finalists defeated by Roger Federer as they could. Finalists defeated by Roger Federer. Richard.
Yeah, we're looking for any tennis player defeated by Roger Federer in a Grand Slam final up to April 2011. And by Grand Slam, we mean Wimbledon, US Open, French Open or Australian Open.
OK. Roger and Christine, we are looking for players defeated by Roger Federer in a Grand Slam final, and you answer first.
You're on your own, really.
Rafa Nadal will be the most popular.
Yeah, I know, but I can't think of anybody any more obscure. Go on, then.
Right, we're going to go for Andy Murray.
Andy Murray, you are saying. OK, Andy Murray. John and Kathy.
Rafa Nadal.
Rafa Nadal. OK, we have Andy Murray. We have Rafa Nadal. If they're right, I'd imagine they're both 2 popular choices. Roger and Christine went for Andy Murray. Let's see if that's right, and if it is, let's see how many people said Andy Murray. $44. John and Kathy have gone for Rafa Nadal. What do you think? Will that go lower than 44?
No.
I don't know.
I think
who
it's
he is.
right, but I don't think it's going to go lower.
Let's
Unfortunately.
find out. Rafa Nadal. Is it right? How many people said it? Rafa Nadal. That's right. Now then. Oh, you've done it. Look at that. 41. 41 for Rafa Nadal. Oh. Very, very close indeed, but Rafa Nadal just pips it. Which means John and Kathy are through to the final 2-1 after 3 questions. Richard.
Yeah, it doesn't get much closer than that. 2 good answers. Federer beat Nadal in 2006 and 2007 Wimbledon finals. Andy Murray has lost to Australia and US Open. Let's take a look at all the answers. There's a few pointless ones here as well. The bottom 3 all Australian Open defeats. Marcos Baghdatis, Marat Safin and Fernando Gonzalez. Mark Philippoussis, who beat Wimbledon, would have scored you 1 point. Robin Soderling, who beat the French Open, would have scored you 2. Leighton Hewitt beat him in the US Open, would have scored you 3. There's Andy Roddick, he's beaten him in 4 Grand Slam finals. Roddick would have scored you 8. Andre Agassi beat at the US Open for 11. Novak Djokovic would have scored you 12 points. He beat him in the 2007 US Open. Rafa Nadal, 41 points, and Andy Murray up the top there in 44. Well played, guys. Good head-to-head from everybody.
Absolutely. Well, the losing pair at the end of the head-to-head, I'm afraid, it's Roger and Christine. But Oh, that was a nail-biting head-to-head there. Very, very exciting indeed. You've done fantastically well, Roger and Christine. We will see you again next time, of course, when I'm sure you will do equally well, possibly even better. But thanks, meanwhile, for playing. Brilliant, brilliant contestants. Thank you. But for John and Kathy, it's now time for our pointless final and the chance to win our jackpot of £2,500. Very, very well done. Congratulations, John and Kathy. You fought off all the competition and you have won our coveted pointless trophy. You now, however, have a chance to win our pointless jackpot. And at the end of today's show, the jackpot stands at £2,500. Now, the rules are very simple. To win that money, all you have to do is find a pointless answer. That's an answer that none of our 100 people gave. Now, we've had 2 pointless answers on the show today. In fact, Kathy, you gave us one of those with pilchard in round 1. You only need to find one more now, one more pointless answer, and you will go home with that money. First, though, you've got to choose a category, and you can choose from these 3 options. They are style icons, spy fiction, composers. Style icons, spy fiction, composers.
Right, composers, limited knowledge, spy fiction,
Limited knowledge.
and style icons.
What's a style icon?
I don't know, could be anything, couldn't it? Architecture or fashion or...
Yeah, let's go for style icons.
Okay,
By a process of elimination, style icons it has to be. OK, let's find out what the question is. We gave 100 people 100 seconds to name as many British Vogue's best-dressed women of 2010 as they could. British Vogue's best-dressed women of 2010. Richard?
Yeah, we're looking for any woman named in British Vogue's list of the 20 best-dressed women of 2010. That list announced in December 2010.
OK, you now have up to 1 minute to come up with 3 answers, and all you need to win that £2,500 is for just one of those answers to be pointless. Your 60 seconds start now.
okay, you on me.
Also popular. What about
Popular.
Sarah Jessica Parker? They love her, don't
Okay,
they?
yeah.
Any
British
politicians
Vogue,
you can think of?
Tess Daly, maybe, something like that.
Sportswomen.
Cheryl Cole.
Not best dressed.
Well, Jordan's not going to be on there.
You've
is
seen
she?
the red carpet photographs. I mean,
Who else? Oh, the woman who's in Orlando. The actress.
Oh, I don't
Tilda
know.
Swinton.
yes.
Tilda Swinton.
Gwyneth Paltrow.
Blimey.
OK, there's a bunch there.
What about It Girls, Society Girls?
I don't know any.
Pippa Middleton.
Pippa Middleton, excellent.
Okay, we'll go for
Was it
her.
5
really
seconds.
for her?
Um,
Was it before the wedding? Yes, it was.
yeah, it was before the wedding, so...
OK, well, there is your minute up. I now need your 3 answers. We were looking for British Vogue's best-dressed women of 2010.
Tilda Swinton.
Tilda Swinton.
Sarah Jessica Parker.
Sarah Jessica Parker.
Tess Daly.
Tess Daly. OK, thank you very much. Of those 3, which do you think is your best shot at a pointless answer?
Tilda Swinton.
Tilda Swinton.
Like
Tilda
her.
Swinton. We put her last. We like her. Which is your least likely?
Tess Daly or Sarah Jessica Parker?
Tess Daly.
Tess Daly.
Tess Daly. OK, we will put them up in that order. And here they are. Tess Daly, Sarah Jessica Parker, and Tilda Swinton. There they are. We were looking for women named in British Vogue's best dressed list of 2010. You said this was your least confident answer. You only have to find one pointless answer to win that £2,500 jackpot. Let's see if Tess Daly is right. And if it is, let's see how many people said it. Tess Daly. Oh, unfortunately, Tess Daly is not a pointless answer, not a correct answer. You only have 2 more chances to win today's jackpot. £2,500. What would you do with that?
I'd like to get a tree house built in the garden for my children.
Very good indeed. Wow, that'd be a great treehouse. Make you very popular indeed. John, how about you?
I think I'm going to go the stereotype route and debenture ticket at the Millennium Stadium.
Very good indeed. OK, well, we are looking for women named in British Vogue's Best Dressed List 2010. Let's hope nobody said your next answer. Sarah Jessica Parker. That's your second shot at that jackpot of £2,500. Sarah Jessica Parker, is it right? And if it is, how many people said it? Sarah Jessica Parker, good luck. Oh. Bad luck. Also an incorrect answer. You only have one more chance to win today's jackpot. How confident are you feeling about Tilda Swinton?
Not confident at all.
Well, she always appears on red
Yes.
carpets. She's always nominated for BAFTAs and Oscars. Always wears something quite eye-catching.
Always scrubs up well.
Yes, she does.
Always wears something quite eye-catching. We are looking for women named in British Vogue's Best Dressed list of 2010. You said this was the answer you were most confident with. It is Tilda Swinton. It has to be correct and it has to be pointless for you to win that jackpot of £2,500. Very, very best of luck to you. Tilda Swinton, is it right? How many people said it? Oh! Bad luck, bad luck, bad luck. Well, that was a very, very tough category, and unfortunately you didn't manage to find that all-important pointless answer, so I'm afraid you don't win today's jackpot of £2,500, which rolls over onto the next show. But you have been fantastic contestants, and you do, of course, get to take home our pointless trophy, so well done. Richard.
Yeah, that was unlucky, John and Kathy. You played so well across 2 shows, a tough finishing category. Lots of big names on the list that weren't pointless. There's Victoria Beckham, Kate Moss, Lady Gaga, Keira Knightley, Kate Winslet. But there are a load of pointless answers as well, some of which are possibly guessable, I think. See how well you did at home. Let's take a look at some of them. Carey Mulligan, the Oscar-nominated actress, she was there. Edie Campbell, model, and Elisa Sednoy. That's how you pronounce it. She's also a model. Josephine de la Baume, also a model. Lara Stone, who married David Williams. She was a pointless answer. Michelle Obama, one of the women on the list, she was pointless. Michelle Williams, the actress. Olivia Palermo, the model. And Rosie Huntington Whiteley, the model and more recently actress. All of those pointless. Very well done if you said any of those at home.
Did you know any of those?
Michelle Obama.
Yeah, that's the only one.
That's about the only one.
Yeah.
I didn't know what a style icon was, at least I know now. There he is.
Yeah.
Was he not on the list? Oh, he's women, wasn't he?
Women.
And even then, I nearly got on.
Well, unfortunately, we do have to say goodbye to you, John and Kathy, but it's been brilliant having you on the show. Thank you both so much for playing. Excellent contestants.
Thank you.
Nobody's won our jackpot today, so it rolls over, which means on the next show we will be playing for £3,500. Join us then to see if someone can win it. Meanwhile, it's goodbye from Richard.
Goodbye.
And it's goodbye from me. Goodbye.